interesting topic around delayed gratification or living in the moment. Mainly talking about how you're gonna spend your money. So are you going to spend it now, or are you going to spend it in the future? So you save it, invest it, whatever. This might not be a dilemma in Western culture because of your credit culture, social security system, or consumerism, etc., etc. Like, I was really shocked when I heard that. My UK friend told me that he was really shocked that I have stock and funds, because everyone at the same age as me have that in my previous company in China. And it is very common for people to talk about like, oh, my stock go up or go down at lunchtime. So I might mention it a bit later, the reason why, but it has been really a big topic in Asian culture in these years. I personally don't find it really struggling because I think I can do both of them at the same time. I might talk about it later, but I did think about it from time to time, like, and it's kind of linked with my personal goal, like long-term goal. So the interesting thing is that I'm going to explain it with some very simple economics concepts. So I graduated with economics subject in high school. Even though I don't do it in university, I still really love it. In microeconomics, it's all about we have limited resources and how we are going to spend these resources to maximize our benefits. I will say happiness in this video because that's what I'm talking about. So, example, if you're going on traveling, you have $1,000 budget, and are you going to spend on food or are you going to spend on accommodation? So, I'm a foodie. I'm going to tell you that I'm gonna spend 80% of them on food and 20% on accommodation. But that's personal preference, and some people will have different idea. They value sleeping quality a lot, and they might spend like 60% on hotels and 40% on eating. And there's no right and wrong. That's just personal preference. And this is similar to delayed gratification or living in the moment. So, for example, you have $1,000, you earn $1,000 per month. Are you going to spend $200 now and save $800, or are you going to save $200 and spend $800 that month? This is why I said I don't struggle a lot, because I am a person who gets satisfied really easily. I'm not quite affected by consumerism. I don't get happiness from buying things, shoppings. I don't like shoppings, and that's why I don't need a lot of money per month. So I can earn 1,000 and spend 200, and I'm already really happy, and I can save 800. That's why I said I can do both at the same time. But again, this is personal preference. Different people, it's different because of cultural background, because of educations, because of their genetic difference. Some people might just need to spend money to be satisfied. Yep. This is the similar part between traveling and what we are talking about. But there's a really, really big difference between the simple example and what we are talking about spending money, is that there is a time element, and this is going to make a really big difference because you're going to get some return in the future, and also time equal to uncertainty. So the first thing is that it's gonna generate some return for you in the future. So if you are traveling, if you choose food, you won't get accommodation at the same time. Or if you choose accommodation, you won't get food in the future because you have only $1,000 and you're gonna spend it now. There's no future. So this is quite simple. But for spending, if you save money, you're gonna generate return in the future. So I said that I only need $200 to get certified. And some people might ask, you can still spend $500, so you will be happier and you can save $500 instead of $800. And that's right. I don't deny that if I spend more, I'm gonna be happier. But there's a concept around marginal profits in economics, which means that if I spend 200, I get 200 units of happiness. I can spend 500 and it won't get me 500 units of happiness. So if I spend more than 200, every dollar I spend, I don't get much happiness. So I may only get 0.1 unit of happiness, and obviously it isn't worth it. And if I save it, I might get interest, I might get other things in the future, and it might earn me 10 units of happiness in the future. That's why I save. So this is the difference, which is linked to time. And so the second thing is uncertainty, which is exactly why it has been a hot topic these days. So even though I save a lot, I probably saved around like 70% of my salary. My mom still told me all the time that I shouldn't spend much money. I should save them. I shouldn't be affected by consumerism. And I'm gonna ask her, and I always ask her a question that, what if I died tomorrow? And I never really get an answer because everyone knows that it can happen. You can get crashed by a car and die tomorrow. It's not likely to happen, but it can happen. So I think that's why it has been a really hot topic these days in China or Asia, because of the economic, political environments is really unstable. So in the past, every Chinese people were taught that you have to study really hard and then you will get a good job opportunity and you're gonna earn a lot of money and you're gonna live a really happy life after 20 years old. But nowadays, everyone can see that there are layoffs. Everyone in China get at least a master's degree and it didn't really earn them a happy life. They're suffering from 996 culture, and there's obviously a lot of wars in the world, and you don't know, you might get killed by a bomb tomorrow. I don't know. Should I say that? But like, the environment is really unstable and people kind of get a bit suspected that if they can get what they expect to get, if they delay their gratification. So this is what time brings, like uncertainty. So if you ever remembered, I said that my spending on food and accommodation is a function. So it's like a variant X and Y. So if we are talking about delayed gratification or living in the moment, it's a decision between different variants. So maybe about your personal preference and how much do you need at the moment. What is your expected return of your saving, and what kind of uncertainty you are expecting. And I just find it really interesting because as I said, I don't struggle a lot, but I did think about it quite a few times because I always wanted to retire at 40, so I work really hard these days. So I make sure that I get enough money, enough investment, enough properties to get me retired at 40. But sometimes I still think that if I die tomorrow, like what's the meaning of what I'm doing currently? So I'm not saying that there's right or wrong, like some, obviously I don't like consumerism, but like, is enjoying your current life a bad thing? I don't think so. Like, I don't struggle because I can do both of them at the same time, but I know a lot of my friends struggled because I just don't understand, but like I respect that like a lot of them like buying things. I don't think it's wrong. I just find it more difficult for them because I can imagine like if I get my happiness from shopping and everyone in my culture telling me that I have to save money for future, for retirement, and I'm gonna be affected by it so much. I'm gonna have some level of guilty every time I buy things. I'm not sure if I should buy to make myself happy or should I save for uncertain happiness in the future, but like I just find it a bit interesting.